Welcome to Bigfoot Odyssey. This is the Late Show. I'm your host, Kerry. With me, as always, he is the man, the myth, the mystery, Brad and Bailey. I think Bailey's with us. He's asleep.
He is. He is sleeping. Yes.
Good.
How are you,
Well,
Carrie?
I'm good, man. If he don't start bombing you, then I
Oh
guess
my
it'll be a
goodness.
it'll be a good show. It's cold out there, and I don't think I need to tell that to anybody in the United States.
So I got my
Um,
coat on.
it's it is freaking cold here because there's 30, 40 mile an hour winds because there's no trees. So it's 20, feels like it's 2. So I hope everybody's staying warm. Unless you live in South Florida or the Georgia coast, I think they might be having some decent weather, but it's coming your
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
So,
y'all Southern boys.
It's supposed to be 10 here tonight, so
so yes, hope everybody's staying warm out there. We got David Pauls on here with us tonight. We're going to talk with him tonight about his experiences and what he's got planned coming up. So hopefully we'll have a good show. We'll certainly do our best. Before we get started, we'll remind everyone to keep it clean for us in the chat. We appreciate that very much. Y'all be nice. And check out the links in the description for My Patriot Supply. Get your own personal emergency food supply. These days, not a bad idea to get emergency
Definitely.
food supply. And like I've said before, we've been affiliated with them for what, about 2 years, Brad?
at least, yeah.
But we haven't really pushed it until this whole lockdown thing came. And it's more of, I think people need an emergency food supply. You don't have to get it from us. We appreciate it if you do, because we get like 10% if you use our link, preparewithbigfoot.com. But you can just go to My Patriot Supply because it's good food. It's really good stuff, and it lasts up to 25 years. They give us like 4 or 5 deals a month that they put on our website. But you can go to their, just type in My Patriot Supply on your browser, and there's all kind of deals there too. So you don't have to use us, but you still, I still think everybody should absolutely get one, and we appreciate those that do use us. So thank you for that. Well, all right, let's get into this. David, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a musician and a bass player of a band White Mass. I'm a hunter. I got into the Bigfoot, Sasquatch thing out of curiosity, but last November I was hunting in family land against the Daniel Boone National Forest, and I seen you guys had a guy up there. He had an experience, and his land was about the same place, and we hunted. And every time, well, take it back a little bit. Kerry caught me in comments. He said, "This is what I say when I go in the woods by myself. I say, I know you're there. Please don't scare me. Oh, the guns aren't for you. Please don't scare me. Please don't show yourself. And what we don't eat, which is when you field dress a deer,
Mm.
The gut pile.
we gift it to them. Well, we've had 2 taken. Long story short, they weren't dragged out by coyotes or wild dogs or anything. We don't have no wild hogs down there. And by the time I got down to the bottom of the mountain, got in the rhino, got my deer. It was gone. My deer's there, and went on. So there's can you see my hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see you.
Okay, so the family land has mountains here, mountains going up here, like a V. And then on top, it goes over and into another holler.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that faces the house really has all the Sasquatch. The pictures I sent you, I took them from there. We don't hunt there. I did walk up in there, and because I took a couple shots at a couple deer, and they got away. But anyway, I was like, from watching you guys from other channels, snaps, bows, everything. So, and blinds. So I got out my cell phone and I'm taking pictures, and I'm armed, but I'm not, hunting. I'm just taking pictures. And when I said something about what I say for the hunters, Kerry said he would like to have me on the show. So I said, well, that's kind of boring. So I went back to my pictures in my phone and I started blowing one up. And there is a baby Sasquatch with something behind it. I don't know. You guys probably got better, you could blow it up probably better than I can.
Yeah, well, the picture you sent me, I couldn't find it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there just because I couldn't find it. So, I mean, you may have to circle it for me.
Can you put it up?
Well, no, I didn't set any of those pictures up for tonight.
Can I show it?
And Daniela, no, it's not going to work like that.
No.
But let's kind of back up for a second. You said when you go into the woods, you say these things. How does that work out for you? I mean, what kind of experience have you had? Have you had anything before that or anything off the back of that?
No, because me and my brother James, we were hunting until he got his first deer, and then I was on my own. And this is a scary place. This is the first time I hunted this family land. This is actually his in-laws' land. And so he got a little doe, and I was making fun of it, and I was going for the big buck, and I knew it was there. But as we went through, the trails and everything, I seen snaps that were going one way, and I would tell him, I said, hey, that's Sasquatch. He's like, ah. Okay, so then I seen big breaks, 10 foot high, and they weren't rotted. They were just, so nobody believed me. So after he got his deer, I was solo for 4 or 5 days. I think it was 4 days, 4.5. So I went everywhere. I got mine. They got their gift. They even took his gift. He didn't even gift him, but he just left it laying.
Left
the gut pile?
Yeah, gut pile, anything, that's what I gift them. It's like, please don't interfere with me. Excuse me. And the second day that he did not come with me, I hear clack, 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 rock on rock. And this was right before you could actually see anything. So what I took it as, they were saying, okay, He's in there. He's hunting. All the kids get out of the pool, get out of the woods. Because I found a trail that went down and up to that place we don't hunt. Excuse me. And just out of curiosity, I went up that patch of woods up the hill, and it was amazing. The stuff that I was finding, and I could have went up, but I was kind of getting scared. I don't know. I was by myself. I was armed, but
Still unfamiliar territory.
yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, oh my God.
Right.
But what he couldn't see, maybe he can send it on your phone. There's 2 pictures, and if you just below, it's stuff against a tree, and there's like a little triangle there, so they could peek. And I wanted something really cool for the show, so I went back through them, and I found X's and bows and all that crap. So I started blowing it up a little bit, and here's this face. You can see the nose, the mouth. You can see the hair behind it sticking up, and there's something behind it that I can't see, which I figure it's its mom. So I freaked out. I was like, oh my God. And I mean, I got it on my phone. I took it with the iPhone. I got cheap cameras, but I took it with my iPhone. And it's there. And there's 2 angles of it. If you take the straight on angle, you get the best baby face.
I'm gonna show it.
And if you the same picture from the other, it looks like something's behind it that might have red eyes. I don't know.
But just to clarify, this is in the area that you were just checking the trail out that you weren't hunting, correct?
We don't hunt that area.
Okay.
So they're safe there so far. I showed my brother that after laughing at me, and I told him where I was, and we're not going to hunt there because they allow us to go up the mountain into the holler and do our hunting. So,
We'll try to make this a little bit bigger. That's as big as I can get it.
Oh.
It's the format. You're gonna have to send it to me in a different format.
How can I do it?
You'll have to email it to me instead of trying to text it.
I don't even think that's the right one, Kerry.
Okay. Well, this is the one you said with like the triangle on the side there that you were talking about.
That's the side view. The thing on the right that you had.
Yeah.
That's where they're hiding.
Well, I couldn't blow it up that much. I don't know how you sent it to me. Maybe if you can email it to me, we can show it. But for me, as much as I could see, it was just a little bit too ambiguous to tell what was there,
right.
what wasn't.
Well,
that's all.
Well, how can I blow something up off of an iPhone?
I think
without distorting it, you know what I mean? I don't want to distort it.
Well, it's going to get distorted.
The only thing I can think of is if you put your fingers on there and you stretch it out and you make it bigger, and then try to take a screenshot of that.
Well, even
I don't think it would show on here. Yeah,
all you're doing is a digital zoom.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just making the pixels bigger.
You're right.
But if we were in the same room and if I did that, you would say, yeah, there's something there.
Let me ask you, did you talk to the in-laws about if they've had any odd experiences on this property?
Yes. I've asked them if they've heard any screams, yells, because, I've been in this for a while. And there's like, no, but they're always in the house.
Mm-hmm.
He digs graves for a living. He builds roads. He's always on machinery.
Right.
Never seen nothing. And like, you can't smoke cigarettes. That's why I got a bad voice. In the house. So I'm smoking on the porch, and I thought I sounded like, whoop, do a whoop. And I got none.
Well, half the time, like, as if you're not aware, you almost subconsciously block it out. You just think, oh, that could be, like with Kerry, when he heard stuff, when he was hunting all the time, oh, that's a buck crashing through or something like that. When you're not aware, it just kind of slides by.
I got to see it before I believe it. I mean,
right.
Actually, I took like what looked like, I can't say it was, but what it looked like a blind, and turned it into my own blind from them, because it was tattered, and my brother got his deer that day. So I started raking all the leaves out so I could get in there, quietly.
Right.
So, and don't you know, he didn't go the next day. I got in his stand, missed one, and then the next day, I got in there, hear the clapping, that clacking. It's like I say it every time, because he'll drive the rhino all the way up the mountain. I walk all the way up. So I go up there, get in my place, and as soon as I sat down into the handmade deer stand, I mean, it's like a big platform.
Right.
So I sat down, and it overlooks the whole valley. And that's where they come up. And we feed them here, we feed them over there. So as soon as I sat down, get ready, I heard that clacking. And the way I took it was either get out, Sasquatch people, get out, he's hunting, or, okay, you hunt here, you're all right, don't hunt over here, because we don't.
Well, David, let me ask you this. You said that you and your brother left the gut piles basically for them. I know in instances like you leave a gut pile, come back the next day, and it'll just be trashed.
No.
Where you can see where coyotes hit it and other stuff was. But I've also, at the same time, I've also had one where I've left one, and it's like something came in and picked it up, and there was nothing.
Nothing. Picked them both up. Nothing. I mean, little blood droplets, what we left, but all gone. No coyotes, no wild dogs. They were gone. It's like they picked it up and walked away. Yeah, definitely. And I tried to tell these people, you have them. I know you have them. They just don't want to believe it. But my brother does now, since he's seen the pictures. So what we're going to do before it gets green is we're going to go out again. We have cheap cameras, but we're going to do the best we can. Take pictures. We're going to go further up that hill that I got the pictures on with all the snaps and the bows and all that, because there was huge trees. And I'll be honest with you, it was spooky. It was freaking really spooky.
Well, I can imagine.
So, you know, I think since I was by myself and they understood me, you know, I didn't get any flack. You know, they just hid. But I don't think I want to go up there by myself anymore.
David, tell us where you are, as much as you want to give away. Anyway, people were just
Where I'm
asking
at now?
well, the location. You know, what state? If you just want to give a general area.
It's Eastern Kentucky. It's 25-minute ride from Moorhead towards the National Boom Forest.
So is it Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky?
Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky. Okay.
And that forest is huge, and it kind of runs north to south almost. So we're kind of like at the bottom almost, not all the way. And the guy you guys had on the other day, I think he was on the other side before the Tennessee border. But when I was a kid, my parents had Jeeps, and we went all through that place. And that is a very dangerous place without Sasquatch or Dogman. There's pot growers, there's moonshiners, and we see it all. Ginseng, thank you, Timmy. That's my drummer. There's a lot of people in there, and actually, if the world goes to hell, that's where I'm going. Anyway, he has where I was. He had a property where I was on, and then we could ride the Rhino down the 2-lane highway, and then he has another piece of property with a big cave. And my brother, he wouldn't go. I was like, we got to go in the cave. I want to go in the cave. I want to see what's in this cave. And there's no trail, so we'd have to bushwhack. I was like, so what? We've been bushwhacking all day. So let's do it. And he's like, no, I ain't going in there. And there's a lake right in front of it. And that behind that is all Daniel Boone National Forest. And
have you actually seen anything out there?
Have I seen a Sasquatch upright? Yes. No.
So when you go out and you say, I know you're there, you're going strictly off the sign that you've seen, the breaks and all that good stuff, bows.
That and what I see off you guys' channels and others. It's all the same evidence almost. It's just I look, if it's a snap, if it's twisted. A couple of years I was in Maine, and I went in. I was going squirrel hunting. My task was to get 3 squirrels. We're going to coyote hunt because they were messing around my best friend's property, which is like 3 miles in the forest. Well, I'm not dumb in the woods. I've been in the woods since I could walk, and I had my 12 gauge and I had a 9mm on my side. I started going down the ATV / snowmobile trail. A tree this thick, was twisted and pulled down over the trail. I say, okay. You know, I watch you guys. So I go under it. I go up about 100 yards more. There's another one.
Now, is this
So-
stuff that wasn't there before, or is this your first time going in here?
This is my very first time walking back in there. It's not my first time to the cabin. First time I ever went in the woods.
Up in Maine.
In Maine.
Okay.
So there was one more. It was a little bit smaller. Pulled down. I went under it, and then I took a left on the trail. Big fat gray, popped him, grabbed him. Now, I'm not stupid in the woods. I can find my way around it. Something was dragging me in the woods. Long story short, I was in the woods for almost 7 hours. My legs gave out. I had no water. And my shotgun, I was blasting 3 shots in a tree to get help, you know. And I found a nice big granite rock with a big tree. Caught me a little fire. And I put my shotgun up there and started drinking water out of a little water hole. Just drinking. Went back up, shotgun's still there. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Take your time.
I hear a whoosh, whoosh. There's no other humans in this forest at this time, but I'm hearing a road or an airport. So the canopy is pretty thick because it was in July. And I can see the sun moving, so I know it's moving west. So I figured keep moving west. My legs gave out, they cramped up, I got water. So this is what saved me. I ride a motorcycle, so I heard about 100 Harleys go by. But it was off in the distance, but I knew what it was. So I went back to drink as much as water as I could out of this hole. Went back up, my shotgun was gone. Stevens 12 gauge shotgun, gone.
Old shotgun.
Sticking right there against, you know, big rock tree. It was a great place to settle down for the night. And I already tossed the squirrel because he was getting heavy. And anyway,
The squirrel was getting heavy.
dude, you don't know how far I had to walk. I got a shotgun in one hand, squirrel in the other, and I'm climbing. I had to climb a rock wall. I had to go across the bridge that was made out of a log. I mean, it was bad.
When you said you were in there 7 hours, do you feel like you just lost track of time, or as some people say, they get zapped, basically, where it just time just gets away from you?
That's a good question because I don't think I was zapped unless they were trying to pull me in. Because every decision I made was wrong. Every turn I made was wrong. That made sense up here was wrong. Nobody answered. I mean, I shot into a tree about 4 or 5 times. 3 times, boom, boom. You would expect if there was a human in the woods, they would have answered your call. No.
Yes, theoretically. Yeah.
So I said, screw the shotgun, which I still to this day hate that. But I just bushwhacked towards where I thought was a road. Was a road, but I had to go up. I found a trail. Let me get a drink of water. The trail was going, I was going west. It was going north. So I followed it, and there was like this big, thick thicket that just ran aside it, and you could see over it. And the first trailer I come up, I'm like, hey, I need help, because I was bleeding. I mean, I was in terrible shape, and my legs were cramping, and it was empty. I mean, it was trash. So I kept going, and then I seen another one, and it had grass was cut, and here comes this big black bull mastiff dog. And I thought I was dead for sure, but he was the biggest sweetheart dog that I've ever seen. And actually, he went and got his people. They got me water, they got me a little help, but they were there. And they said, well, from where you go into your buddy's road, you're like 7.5 miles just to the gravel road. I was like, oh, crap. So I started going up, and I'm skipping. The guy gave me the kid came out and gave me a bottle of water this big, like a kid cup. I was like, can I have some more? But anyway, I forgot about COVID. That didn't even come across my mind. So the mom came out, gave me some bottles of water, and I started walking because her husband had the car. I got about half a mile up the road. He picked me up and took me home. The next day, I took 2 Army guys, my friends, to help me find my shotgun, and it was not there. I was able to just walk down and find it. It's not there. Something took it. Something drew me into the woods. And did I feel zapped or anything? No, it was just more like, keep going this way. And every decision I made was wrong.
So did that experience kind of bring you into an awareness that you wanted to find out more about these creatures and hear other people's stories and things of that nature?
Yes. Well, as soon as I seen the trail being blocked with twisted, 8-inch trees that are still alive, but they're pulled over, and they get a lot of snow up there. But one, and then 100 yards down, one, it's like, I kind of got the feeling that they might be in there. But I think going under them and keep going, maybe they did something. I don't know. I don't know them. Right. And that's why I'm trying to put this team together and just get to know them.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yeah. What's the plan here?
My plan is to go down back to Kentucky and set up a camp and just try to bring them in. And I'm going to try to, communicate to them. I'm not going to take idiots down there. We're not going to be partying. We're going to walk in. We're going to set up a good camp. There's a lot of good toys out there for this kind of thing, but I just can't afford it right now. I got a parabolic dish and 2 cheap cameras. You know, one I think zooms 16 and one goes like even half of that. So that's my back camera.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot to be learned with what you call, you know, crappy equipment or bad equipment. You know, because Linda and I started out with not knowing anything about cameras or filming or editing or any of those things.
Right.
We just kind of got out there and did it. So I think, you know, to start with, I don't think it really matters that you've got the greatest of equipment. Just that you're out there doing it and trying to learn and figure something out. You know, to me, that's the good thing about it, that you're going and you're taking something. You know, if it pans out and it works out for you, that you're actually getting somewhere, all those things will come. There's plenty of people out here that support researchers that are in it for, I guess, the right reason. I don't know what the right reason really is. But,
yeah, that's the whole thing about, you know, I love you guys' channel. I watch it a lot. And
appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much.
And I watch a couple other that I call credible, but there's so many that are trying to I don't even know what they're trying to do. Make money, take your time, get the shares or whatever. I don't know. It's like they're not producing anything. And I'm thinking, when I'm watching them, I'm like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You know? And they got good equipment. It's like,
well, look, this is kind of how we see this. If you're in this subject for whatever reason, doesn't matter. If you're focusing on the subject and pushing forward and learning and actually showing people something or telling them something and giving them, you know, something to latch onto, money, fame, all those, you're not going to be able to avoid them. You're not going to be able to avoid those things. They're going to come on the back end.
They're
it's just the way it is. If you're trying to push forward in the subject and actually make a difference, you know,
well, I loved
be a voice
guys,
in the subject.
You guys last was that 148?
Yeah, 168.
168. Man, I loved it. I would love to have been there.
Well, you know, doing one thing that, like what you said, when you watch other people's channels, even if you agree or disagree with them, you're still learning. You know, oh, I like what this person did. Oh, I don't want to do it this way. How can I do it in my own area? Like where you said that cave is. That
I haven't gone in there yet, but I will send you guys pictures because I'm going in this time.
Well,
I'll give you my opinion on it. If you're going to do this, going after them never really works. I've never seen it work. We tried it. It didn't really work. Getting them to come to you, I think is more the way to do it. And filming, I think they watch us closely enough to know that, you know, anything with any sense can watch your gaze and see where you're looking. So I usually tell people, you know, if you're going to film in the woods, stable, because digital is what it is. If you've got a good stable platform, you're not moving around too much, but film where you're not looking would be my suggestion.
Right.
We have caught them on camera doing that.
I get it. I saw your movie.
Film even behind you. I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's why I got the 2 cameras. I was good. Right. My singer's a metal fabricator. I was going to have him make something that the front one can be here and the other one can just look backwards, and then just kind of camouflage it with something.
Well, and the one thing too that I think will be a lot of fun is, you know, when you're figuring out the area that you want to concentrate on, just, you know, go by what that area gives you. It's, you know, if it's a lot of hills or whatnot, Try to get up high. I mean, there's just so many different things that you can try, and it's a lot of it is baptism by fire. Truth be told, like Carrie was just saying, it's you'll realize what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work, and it will take time theoretically.
Well,
now, as soon as I say that, you'll see something the first time, but it's.
I always ask them, please don't scare the shit out of me. I'm sorry. But what Carrie said was, because he had hunters on there that just will not go back. So that's why I said what I said in the comments, what I say.
Right.
Please don't, let me hunt. I'm trying to feed my family. I think they know family. So they, if you show a little respect, I think you'll get a little respect out of them. I don't know. I'm new, so I don't know. But that's what I'm going for. Is respect them, don't scare them. Rifles will be in the car. I'm not going to go out there armed to the teeth. My plan is top of the holler where we hunt, there's a grassy meadow where we're going to set up. 4-wheel drive cars can get up there and just set up tents and just act normal, But there's this tree house that's like in the woodline that can overlook it. So I was going to utilize that too. So I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean, I don't have no FLIR or no nothing like that. That's what I need.
If you're asking me, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm not a Bigfoot researcher. I just kind of watch other guys and kind of learn from them. And, I don't really have a desire to go look for them or really learn anything about them. But as much as we can show other people is what we try to do. The whole 168 film, that was something different that we had never done before, that, I had thought about for years, just trying. We still didn't get to do it the way we wanted to. Hopefully we'll get to do that this time, but we didn't have a frame of reference. I'd never seen anybody try to do it that way, and I kind of thought
you guys did a great job.
Yeah, well, it
it
wasn't what we wanted to do. Well, if you thought it was great, that's awesome, and very much appreciated, but wasn't what we wanted to do at all. Wasn't what we advertised. I wasn't prepared. It was all on me. I dropped the ball there.
Come on, Carrie.
Well,
you're all right.
It's the truth. But we've learned. We've got a good stepping stone for the next one. Hopefully, because it's not really something I want to do.
I mean, it's from what you're saying and the way you're trying to set up is a lot of people say that, act like you're not looking for them, act like you're camping.
Right.
Or, just doing whatever that. And it seems like a lot of people have good results, or they say they have good results from doing it that way. It's just, what feels right to you when you're out there. What's the land giving you to help whatever setup that you want to, test your theory on.
Well, the people that own it are very good people and have no clue. So what I'm trying to do is let them know,
right,
these people are real, and because everybody thinks I'm a nut for even believing in this. So
that goes with the territory.
I'm kind of almost out to just prove them wrong, but screw them.
I don't think that's a bad way to go about it. Is if you're out to show people and convince them, I think that's what we need is
awareness.
More people. Yeah, is awareness. Obviously, we say it 10,000 times a show, That's our charge. That's what we want to do as awareness. But that doesn't mean that's what everybody else has to do. It's just what we want to do is make people aware. But I think trying to get something convincing, that's the hard part, is what you're experiencing. And this is me personally. I think the best way to do that is to be 100% honest, 100% transparent with what you're getting, and not making a whole bunch of stuff up as you go, finding something that is mildly ambiguous and might be something, that rotted tree falling down, and saying, hey, the Sasquatch came through here and pushed this over.
What's that called? Pareidolia or
pareidolia?
Yeah,
a lot of people don't really understand pareidolia.
I do. I've seen so many channels that even a tree has a face on it. I mean, it's all context, and that's why pictures. When you send a picture, especially if you took it, just listen to me. Just let me finish. When you're taking a picture, okay, and you're the one that took it, you know where this place is. You can picture everything outside that frame. When you show it to somebody, they really can't. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell scale and size, and if you're not giving very much context, they're going to dismiss it out of hand. It's just, people send me pictures all the time, and I kind of see what they're showing me, but I'm not there. It's hard to get some good context. That's why when people talk about if it's good enough, you shouldn't have to circle it, and to me, that's just not true. These things hide, and they look like the bushes sometimes. And if you find something that's got facial symmetry and it's got an apex head, you can see the body right in front of you guys.
Well, and it's like so many times, you're looking on your iPhone at something and you're trying to stretch it out, but that still doesn't work. You almost need it on a 65-inch TV to see it that way.
Right.
And context, like what Carrie was saying, is one of those things that is implied, but is rarely completed, if that makes any sense.
Well, a lot of what you see is so zoomed in, and you can see there's a face kind of there, but I mean, without anything outside of it to get a good size reference, distance, those things to me are important to convince someone that this is what this is. You could tell them all day long, this is a Sasquatch. I've showed people plenty of pictures.
I don't know if it's a Sasquatch, dog man. I just know it's not a chimpanzee because we don't have them in Kentucky. Well, and that's kind of what it looked like, a little baby chimpanzee, It's like.
But one thing that we tell people, David, is like if you find, like when you're going through a pic and you see something, and if you know where it is, even if it's a month later, try to go back and with somebody and say, hey, this is about where, because that just helps. And people, but it also helps yourself too when you're looking at it at a later time. That that's just kind of spitballing here when I'm saying that, but it's
no, I understand exactly what you're saying. We're going back, and we're going to go back before it gets green. For one, I hate copperheads and
spiders.
Yeah, but it'll be easier for me to find. Well, actually, I know exactly how I went up and what I started taking pictures. I just want to go up into the creepy part. That's a new step, and I'm not going alone. But I will take a picture if that thing's still there, and take size measurements, maybe, see if there's anything else in there. I'll definitely do that.
And one of the neat things about YouTube and the other channels and stuff, you learn what you like. You might see something and go, I don't want to do it that way. I want to try it this way. And it's, when you look at 10 years ago, when you really didn't have that type of, the channels, things like that, it should, it's almost like what were those books that we had when we were kids? When you would read a book, Cliff Notes. It's kind of that can help sometimes. I mean, before 168, I was looking at a lot of stuff trying to figure it out, and I realized when we were down there, I knew nothing, and so I enjoyed asking people questions, just watching and see what they were doing.
You guys had an all-star cast.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been in the woods my whole life too, and have hunted my whole life, and still realized I didn't know, squat basically. So there's, you have a great handbook almost with with YouTube and the various things you can, just watch.
And I appreciate it, really, I do.
It's a lot to filter through.
I watch
Really
you guys a lot of times. You guys put me to sleep. Not you guys put me to sleep, but not other channels like to tell them the stories and all that.
And sometimes it's so soothing and so peaceful that you just that happens to me too sometimes.
Told my Maine story. And I didn't even say it was a Bigfoot or anything. I was just like, she was like needing some stories. I said, well, here's a weird one, and she put it on there. But I couldn't say one way or the other. Who took it? But I know there wasn't no human in there but me. So
right.
That's all I can say.
I'll say this about your equipment. So I know you spoke about that and not having a thermal or anything like that. You can go online, eBay, go to places and get decent thermals for $200-$300. Just something good. Aside from that, you're going out, and when you learn your camera and learn your equipment, you'll get a better idea of where to progress to.
Right.
Once you start looking at aperture and ISO and things like that, when it comes to like mirrorless cameras and not just digital video cameras or your cell phone or, iPhone cameras these days are fantastic.
Yeah. 13.
Yeah. From 11 and up, they got really good. But what you will learn is what you'll need going forward.
Right.
And to get those better images and stability. I would preach that all day long because it's digital and the way digital works and how it scans. It scans from either left to right or right to left. And what you can get is called digital interlace, where the pixels get, just because you moved a little bit, the pixels will get jumbled up, especially at a distance. So when you go to zoom in, it's just a lot of faces are created off of that sometimes. And I think that to me, that's pareidolia. If you're looking at a picture and you can see the tree clearly and you can see the leaves clearly and you can't tell what leaves and trees are making this image in there, then it's a little bit more legit and a little bit easier to latch onto. But you'll get familiar with your equipment enough to know where you need to progress to next. It's I don't think anybody has the right answer. But you can, like Brad said, there's a lot of channels out there, a lot of people that are going in the woods doing this, and you can learn a lot from just the mistakes. We all make mistakes doing this. I've made a ton. And if you can watch those and learn from those, I think that's and not repeat, the same things over and over. I see some researchers doing the same things over and over and over again. Go in the woods, do a yell, do a knock, don't get a reply. Oh, well, we got nothing today.
Right.
I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
Yeah,
but it's
I'm trying to stay away from that. Timmy over here, you can't see Timmy. He's Cherokee, and I'm part Cherokee too.
Me too.
So our people actually, they were, I don't know, together. I mean, like they would go up a mountain and they would gift the Sasquatch, berries and root or whatever. and the Sasquatch would help them hunt, for what they needed. And that story has been going on for a long time. And I was just down there in Cherokee, North Carolina. We're Eastern. Actually, he's if you know anything about Cherokee, he's the great grandson of Corn Blossom. Yeah, he's in the registry. I'm not.
My grandmother was half Cherokee.
Yeah, so is mine. So
Colton asked a question here, wants to know the names of the affordable thermals. Yes. FLIR makes them for iPhone or Android. You can get
you can put them on your phone.
Yeah, they attach to your phone, and you just record with your phone in real time, so you can actually go back and look through in the moment, not have to take a card out and go to your computer and look through it. But you can get those from $200 up to $400 or $500. And to me, the difference is nominal. It really is. I not so much maybe resolution as it is sensitivity. I think the resolution is going to be about the same. And for hunting Sasquatch, if you're going to be out there at night, anything at a distance, unless you start spending 15, 20 grand for the new 4th generation stuff, where you can, you see it on like Discovery Channel when they're watching the tigers or the lions or whatever at night, and you can see every hair and you can see every detail. That's the really good high dollar stuff. But most of the stuff you're going to be able to get for $200-300. FLIR 1 Pro, I think, is going to be
FLIR 1 Pro.
FLIR 1 Pro you can get for $199, and you can plug it into your iPhone, or you can get it for iPhone or Android. You got to specify which is which, but that's a really good starter. I'll send you all that stuff, David.
Okay.
And one place, a good place to look to is eBay after hunting season.
eBay.
Thermal scopes. Right. Yeah, because people will buy stuff for hunting and they go, oh, I like this, or oh, I didn't like it. And usually that's a time when you can start picking stuff off in the springtime.
Yeah. And you can go to like reviews and look and see what people are saying about a specific, because I was looking at a $6,000 thermal scope. Woo! And the reviews on it were just terrible.
Really?
And then, but the $4,000 scope, which was made by the same company, 5 stars, rave reviews. So, I mean, that's another good tool to use when you're picking out equipment. But like I said, once you get out and get with what equipment you've got, whatever you got, you're going out there to have an experience, or try to catch some kind of evidence. The best you can do to document that evidence, I think, is a good, to give something cohesive to what you're doing, is really document what you're finding. I say this all the time. If you're going to walk through the woods with a camera going, as long as you're talking to me, I'll watch. I'll listen to it. Tell me what's happening. Tell me what you're feeling, what you're experiencing.
That's a great point.
But if you're just going through,
and you said that, because I was thinking quiet. I don't think it's going to matter.
I guess I think if you're talking, you might get their attention a little bit, and they may want to. They may want to come and actually pay attention. Let me tell you something Mark Zaske did, and I do not recommend anybody do this. But when he first started going out there, he would really piss them off. Sorry, kids.
I won't do that.
Oh, yeah. He'd go out beating his chest and grabbing bushes and shaking them, and he got hit with a limb, rightfully so. So I'm not saying, it's a viable tactic, but probably not a smart one. Especially in some thick places, but just getting out there, you already know the woods, that's huge for anybody doing this, knowing the woods and the animals around there. But that my suggestion would be document what you find as best you can.
That's basically what I want to do. I'm not interested in a channel. I have
Why not
channels that I can send it to, let them make the money. I don't know. I just like to be out in the woods.
Well, just figure out what you want, and
I don't want to be like a lot of the other ones. See, you guys got a different channel. that's way different from the others.
We don't look for Bigfoot.
Right. And
most
most of my
part.
favorite channels don't. All I want to do is get the evidence, show my friends and family and people, send it to people that can put it out there. I'm
Fair
not
enough.
nuts.
However you want to do it.
They're there,
If you
This
get
is
something
what I
really,
do.
really good, you're gonna want to do it yourself. I would suggest
I don't know,
that.
but
I would suggest that you put it out there yourself and own it. If you put it on here, you'll get all the credit anyway. It doesn't matter to me. But I would suggest if you start getting into it and really start getting something good and getting replies and audio and getting some decent pictures, man, make you a channel. What's the big deal? Do it. That way, one-stop shopping. You don't have to go see somebody else and send it off. You got it right there yourself. Just my suggestion. Do whatever you want to do.
I dig it.
But hey, look, we made an hour out of it, David. Really appreciate you coming on here.
I'm
Yes,
sorry
and,
it took so long to get on.
No worries.
No big deal. Is what it is.
Bradley,
we're here.
good to see you.
Good to see
Carrie,
you too, David.
appreciate you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming on, Brad.
All you
Great
guys
show
in
as always.
Bigfoot, Odyssey land.
All right.
All right, David. We appreciate you.
Stay safe
Brad,
out there.
Brad, great show as always. Appreciate you. Everything
Appreciate
you do
you,
for
sir.
us. Hopefully we'll be able to see everybody Sunday, 5:00 p.m. Central. I don't know if it's going to be a Sunday encounter or a Sunday conversation. That's yet to be determined. Hopefully we'll get somebody with an encounter. And I know someone made the comment, I like it better when you have the encounters on. It's hard to find somebody that wants to come on and show their face and talk about their encounter. It really is. So we appreciate those that do. And if you want to come on, talk about your experience, doesn't have to be anything epic, just something that happened that you think even or think happened, or you want to come on and talk about and have a conversation about Sasquatch. We'd love to have you on. You can email us at bigfootodyssey@gmail.com, or you can call me, text me, whatever, 601-215-0581. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back usually. So it's been great. Thanks again, David. We'll see everybody
Thank you,
hopefully
guys.
Sunday at
Thanks,
5:00 p.m. Central. Y'all
Hey,
be
if
sweet.
you're in Ohio,
Right.
25th, we're opening up for Great White. So
Oh, cool.
come on up.
All
All right. Good deal,
Thanks,
man.
guys.